Okay, folks, welcome back to the lab. It's been 2.5 weeks since my last upload, and I feel like this is a confession. Um, I've had a lot of irons in the fire, and I probably one too many or several too many. And so I just wanted to update you on what's going on in the lab, what projects I'm working on, and what's coming up. So, first of all, there was the solar light project, which I discovered had some issues. And so I ended up having a redesigned board made. That'd be the white one here. And you can see they're very similar, except for I moved the control section over here, where it was up here before, and I added a switch here. Now this seems to pretty much work. I can bypass the switch by simply soldering across a couple of these pads, but still the problems that remain are surface mounting everything and trying to mount actual LEDs. Let me give you an example. This is in green, but it's the same idea. This is one that's assembled. It has all of the components necessary, but the problem is I'm surface mounting through-hole LEDs onto this, and they're just not stable. If I just happen to drop this, it will cause a problem. They will fall off. They will come disconnected. Even now, I got a couple of these that aren't working, so I need to go look and figure out what's going on with that. But what I did do is I added an indicator light. This way, from a distance, I can actually see whether it's actually on or not. So I did, from there, I did take one of these white ones and I did build it with the solar panel on the back, and it is functional. So that's a good thing, but it still has the problem of even if I drop it, the batteries will come unsoldered. It's just not stable. So I'm trying to figure out a way to deal with that. That leads me to another project that I attempted, and as it turned out, I'll show you the design here. Ultimately, I got caught. I got greedy. I had an idea about trying to develop kind of a box around the battery, much like you would have with this battery holder that, like for a button cell battery or a AA or a AAA or something like that. I wanted to do something with these 18350s. Now, if you want 18650s, those are easy to find. The battery holders for the 350s are harder to find and more expensive. So I'm trying to keep things inexpensive so I can continue to develop these projects. So I started this project with the idea of, okay, well, I'll build a box around the battery. Okay, that'll be good. Oh, wait a minute. While I'm at it, I should probably have it attached to something so I can verify that my idea of using tabs in slots as connection points and to build a structure would work. And so it turned into, okay, I need the sides, I need the two ends of the box. Now I need to mount it to something as a base, so I designed a base. Next thing I know, I was designing a top and calling it a flashlight. And ultimately, I sent that design off and got back a response saying, you claim that this is one design, but in fact it's 7. Here's your additional fees for producing this circuit board. And at that point, I pulled the plug on it. I have another idea now. I don't give up here. I have another idea for how to build the battery box, but I'm going to keep it to just a battery box. It will be in such a way that I can take a circuit board like this and I can decide to put slots in the circuit board and then put the tabs through the slots to build up the structure to have something solid holding those batteries. It could either be one battery or two batteries. I'm still kind of working on some of the details to try and figure it out. This is a good thing for me. I enjoy the engineering challenge of coming up with something like this. So that's that. Now let me mention the keyboard project. This is a major project for me. It turns out, much like the 7, designs involved in that one on that one circuit board. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to put that up on my website. I'll put a link right here on my website, so you can see. I'm starting to put up my Gerber files if you want to try any of the things that I'm trying, and I don't know if you want to follow along or if you want to modify them and do something with them. I'm open sourcing everything at this point. I've tried selling circuit boards. I still have some up on eBay if you want to go look for them. They're linked from my website to eBay, so you can find them there. But the keyboard project turned out to be the baseboard, 3 different spacers, 2 different types of keys. I'm going to need switches, which haven't arrived yet. I've received all of the circuit boards. Oh, and there's one more circuit board as a module for testing the actual keyboard with lights. So I've got that going on. I'm waiting for the switches to arrive, and I'm waiting for the bolts to arrive. The bolts will hold everything together, but I've realized how many bolts it's going to take to put these things together. So here, I'll just show you a picture of what the circuit board, what the render of the circuit board looks like. I'm going to do an unboxing video of all of the stuff that's arrived so far. That'll be soon. But you can see how many bolts that's going to require, and I don't like that it requires that many bolts. I want to simplify the design, but I still want it to be structurally stable. So I have an idea for doing that, and that was another part of the whole project where I was saying I was going to have a battery box and I was going to have kind of a tab and slot deal. If I can use tabs and slots to secure the keys to the keyboard and still have them be able to flex, I think I can do it with just a couple of spacers and probably just one design of a spacer. That eliminates 2 circuit boards right there, and it eliminates most, if not all, of the bolts. So that should save a little bit of money on this. That said, that's kind of where that is. I'm just waiting for parts to arrive. Then I'll do an unboxing, and eventually I'll do a build. And then we'll see if everything works or not. This is prototyping. I've come up with ideas for a design. I've tried to think them through as carefully as I can, but sometimes things don't quite work the way you expect them to. So that's where we are on that. And meanwhile, I have the circuit boards from these things. I have the white circuit boards for these. And so what I've started doing is some other projects like this, which I'll warn you, there's some flashing lights. I won't leave that up for too long. It's just more of me designing stuff with lights. It's just something that I've gotten used to doing and I can do. So that's kind of where we are with the lab. Hopefully in the next few days I'll be able to get out an unboxing, a major unboxing video. I've got 7 circuit boards and one other part that needs to be unboxed. So that's where we are. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.